Hi everyone, in this video I'll be showing you some of the basic Linux command line, which are actually tools that will help the system administrator identify who actually log into the system or the server and what they are actually doing on that particular computer. Among these commands, some of them include the command that will help the administrator identify what sort of processes that are running on the computer. Now the first tool or the command that I would like to show you here is the top. So the top utility is actually it's a very good tool that will help you identify what sort of processes that are running on your computer. You will get to see even the process ID, the username, stuffs like that. Now the way these processes are sorted out here are basically based on the CPU resource usage. So the higher the CPU usage of a particular process, the top that process would be on the list. Now as you can see here, the first process, which is using around 1.1 CPU resources, see it is been at the top there. Now these numbers continue to change depending on what the particular process is utilizing at that very moment. Now, knowing the specific process ID of a program is very useful to the system administrator because he or she can use the process ID to actually kill the process or end the process. Now, not only that, you can, if you check the top here, you can see some useful information like the number of tasks running, the total number of tasks there, and the number of tasks that are actually running, which in this case is only one, and we get to see the other tasks that are sleeping at the moment. Now beside that, you can even check the CPU resource usage, the total, and you can even check the memory, see the total memory, the free memory and the used memory there. And also you can even check the cache or buffer memory there. So it's actually a very powerful tool that can show you all of this information, including the swap memory. So that is the top command, which is the first command here. Now you can easily move out of this view using the Q or Ctrl+C from your keyboard. Let me increase the font. Alright, good. Now the next command that I would like to show you is the who command. This is another very important command that will tell you who is logged into that particular computer or who is logged into this particular computer at this very moment. So the who, WHO, will give you the summary of the users currently logged into this computer. So now I have only one user that is currently logged into this computer with the name Saidu, and at this time. So you get to see the date and time that user logged in. Now, but this who is just a summary. It doesn't provide much of information like the other command that I will show you now, which is W. Simply just enter the letter W and hit enter from your keyboard. Now this is they provide similar kind of information, only that the W go further in bringing out some of the commands and some of the information that wasn't present in the who command. Now in here we get to see the user, we get to see the terminal from which the user logged in, and we get to see, now supposing that this user, which is Saidu in this case, log into this computer via a network. Now we get to see the IP address of that computer on which the user logged into this computer under the from column. Now this login tells the particular time or at what time the user logged into this system, which is 8:35 here, and bunch of other resources related to that particular user. So this is actually useful. Say for instance, the system administrator identify a user that is not supposed to be on the system. He or she can easily remove that user from the system. As column here, which is the word, tells you what the user is actually doing on that particular machine at that moment. Now I forgot to show you the other command that is similar to the top. It is nothing but the htop. So unlike top, which gives you an interactive environment, the htop provides you with that capability. Stuff like the use of keys is basically a more graphical interface than the top. So in here you get to see the CPU, which is now in a graphical format instead of just number. You get to see the memory, and you get to see the swap memory, and at the extreme right end and at the extreme end there you get to see the number of tasks, the total number of tasks, and the thread, and the number of running tasks. So you get to see a lot of information, even the uptime of the system. So in here you can use your arrow key, up arrow key and down arrow key, even the side arrow key. You can use them to view more information, but the up and down arrow key are more useful here because they select a particular process for you. So you also have some functional key here, the F1, F2, F3 and all that will help you carry out some special tasks here. One of the tasks that you can easily do from this window is actually killing a particular process. So the moment you highlight a process or take note of the process ID, you can easily kill that process using the F9 command. So you can search using the F3, and you can use the escape key to go back. And you can also view the tree format using the F5. Now without using the F5 from your keyboard, you can easily highlight or select the F5 or click the F5 here with your mouse cursor, and it will provide the same functionality as you pressing F5 key from your keyboard. You can easily select, and you can quit using the F10, or just click on the F10 key there to quit the htop. Now the other command that I will show you is the command that provide the system administrator information on what programs are running or listening on the network. So here is the command. The command is simple and straightforward. It's just net start space provide some of the flag or options that you would like to see. Now I will advise you to check the manual page. There you'll get to read all about the net start. So all the available options there, and more information about it there in the manual page. So to use this, I'll enter net start -t upln. So the T filter down all the programs that are listening via the TCP port, and the U filter all the programs that are listening via the UDP port. So the P option there provide the programs, and the L there lists all the programs, all the listening programs, and finally the N option there sort these out numerically. So hit enter from my keyboard. This is what I have. You get to see all this information about the different protocols there. Now this is because I filter down the TCP and UDP together. So if you don't want to see the UDP, you only want to filter the TCP, you can simply go back to the command we used earlier and remove the U and just allow the T there. So this is the result of the TCP. So but in our case, for the sake of this example, I will filter down all the TCP and UDP. Now these are the local IP address, which is obviously my system's IP address, and then you see the foreign address. So the foreign address is the remote address. So if there is any remote host that is listening to this particular process, and the IP address will be here. So we get to see the state, which is listening in this case, and then name are missing because we I did not use the sudo command, which will elevate the privilege here. I only use the netstart straightforward. So in order to view this, I will go back and enter the sudo netstart and -tupln and then provide a password, and then this is the result. So we get to see the process ID and the program name and the status there, which is listening. So it is listening via that particular port, which is TCP in this case. So you get to see a lot of information using the netstart. All of the information or all of the programs that are listening via any protocol there, you see it list. So you can obviously from this, if for example you find out a program that is listening on a certain port and you are not very sure of that program, you can easily kill that particular process or program using the process ID. So knowing the process ID is very, very useful and essential, because that is what you use in killing that particular program. Say for instance, I enter the kill command from my terminal here. So here I will use the tab key. So now it is asking me to whether to display all the 291 possibilities. I'll just enter yes. So look at this. All of these are the process ID of different processes running on this particular system. So if for example you know the respective process ID that you want to kill, you can simply enter it there. So but now I don't want to kill any program or process. I'll just do Ctrl+C to exit from the kill command. Now those are the basic commands that will help you as system administrator to identify who is logged into your system, what programs are listening on your, what port and protocol are listening on your machine, which user is logged into your system, what are they doing, and you get to find out the resource usage of each particular program running on this system. So I hope you learned something from this video, and I hope to see you in the next one. Thanks.